back, and this is the final segment of Citizens Forum for this week. And I have with me today Janice Hoffmann, and she's a grandmother of a child who's attending school here in this region, who has been diagnosed as being electrically hypersensitive. Janice belongs to a group called Parents for Safe Schools, and they're advocating to keep Wi-Fi out of schools until it's shown to be safe. So welcome to the show, Janice.
Thanks, Walter.
It's great to have you here. And I know the school boards have been more or less basing their decision to allow Wi-Fi in schools as a result of their consulting the Chief Medical Health Officer of British Columbia here in British Columbia. And I'm just wondering, upon what evidence have they based their decision that Wi-Fi is safe?
Well, the first piece of evidence they had was a letter that was written by Dr. Kendall in 2010. And even in that letter, he had recommended using, turning off the Wi-Fi when it wasn't in use, limiting the amount of use, and also making sure that parents were fully informed of the safety manual and disclaimers that came with wireless devices. School boards also based their decision to install the Wi-Fi on the WHO, which was provided by Dr. Kendall, and this was information that was released by the WHO in 2002 as a little booklet, and he did a lot of referrals back to the 2002.
So they're looking at evidence from 2002,
right?
And they're basing their decisions upon evidence that's now 12 years old.
That's right.
Before, there was hardly any Wi-Fi anywhere 12 years ago.
That's right.
Isn't that remarkable? And have they not tried to look at any of this newer evidence that shows that Wi-Fi is unsafe?
Well, we've presented them with thousands of non-industry funded studies by medical experts and scientists, and I've heard nothing back. I've asked them to provide me with just one study that says microwave radiation is safe for children and the unborn, and I have yet to receive it. They said that based on the evidence, Wi-Fi is an acceptable risk.
Isn't that interesting that they say that? Because by saying that, they're saying there is a risk, that Wi-Fi does pose a risk, but somehow or other it is acceptable. Now, who is it acceptable for? I mean, is the question. How could they come to that conclusion when basically they're really unable to provide to you or to anyone the process that they used to come to that decision?
There was absolutely no evidence. I'm still waiting for it now. It's been, getting close to 3 years that I've been waiting for this evidence. The school districts say that they aren't medical experts, which I should also mention that Dr. Kendall and Dr. Stanwyck are not medical experts either in the field of the biological effects that Wi-Fi has on the human body. And they've based their whole decision, the school boards have based their whole decision on what Dr. Kendall has recommended.
Now, how much industry influence do you think is going on here?
Well, Health Canada has a list of industries-based studies that they've based their website on, where their website says that Wi-Fi is safe for children. And the studies that they've listed are all industry-based, and they range from 1983 to 2009. And
it's
again,
so funny, isn't it?
Old information.
Just a couple of years ago now, the World Health Organization issued a statement saying that Wi-Fi type radiation was a type 2B carcinogen.
Right.
And I was on the Health Canada website, and they actually do say it. They say, yes, it is, but they say there's such a wealth of other studies that show that it's not harmful and that the risk is sort of acceptable or something. So how is it that they could say that and still, at the same time, saying that it's carcinogenic?
I don't know. I mean, would you allow the school boards, the school districts to spray the the playgrounds with DDT or paint the walls with lead paint? I mean, that's a 2B carcinogen. Why are you allowing this in our schools?
Well, even with the asbestos issue, remember how when they started finding out about asbestos and how careful they are, and they're tearing schools down because of it. But somehow they could ignore this carcinogen.
Yes, and the parents have not been informed.
No.
These safety manuals and disclosures on these wireless devices in the schools, they have no idea that there's any risk at all, any health risk to their children.
You know, and it seems such a peculiar thing that there's such a shutdown of that information, that there's not really these open discussions and conversations that go on. You know, yeah, I was just mentioning to you, like, you go to schools and they're ripping out the monkey bars, or they're ripping out all these tripping hazards, and they're so concerned about the parking lots and all these things, and they're allowing this carcinogenic agent right into the classroom, pipe it right into the kids' classrooms, and force the students that are there to be exposed.
That's right. And without the consent of the parents. I have no choice. I have to expose my child or take the child out of the school.
That's your only. That's
your choice.
And you, in fact, did have to move your grandchild.
Yes, my grandson has now in his 3rd school district.
Yeah.
The first school district absolutely refused to accommodate him, even though he was getting headaches, nausea, fatigue, insomnia. The second school district, Victoria School District, lifted their moratorium, and they have now installed routers, Wi-Fi routers in all their schools.
Yeah.
And now he's in the Saanich School District, and I am so glad that they have not collapsed and decided to go with peer pressure and the Wi-Fi thing to do. And
they in fact, the school that your grandson's going to, even have disallowed the use of cell phones during the school
what
day.
They have, their policy is there's no Wi-Fi, and there's no cell phone use during school hours, and that includes the teachers.
You know,
I am so impressed. These people at this school, at Prospect Lake School, have done the research.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
They have done the research, and they know the health risks.
You know, I just want to wrap up. You know, we know Terrence Young is a member of Parliament, Conservative member of Parliament, has now got a private member's bill that's it's going through the readings right now.
Yes.
And he is asking for, what is it? He's asking for labels on packages?
He's asking that the labels, the warnings and disclaimers be put on the outside of the package so the parents can be fully informed of the health risks that come with these wireless devices.
And that would be for Wi-Fi also?
That would be for Wi-Fi also, for anything that's wireless. This isn't magic. This is man-made radio frequencies.
You know, I just read that over 50 members of Parliament have now signed on supporting that private member's bill. So thank you so much, Janice, for coming in. I hate to cut you off, but
that's no problem.
We have to get going, and we'll see you next week.